Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about the X-Press basketball defense. So hello everyone, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training. On this channel I show you basketball plays, drills, and skills. So if you like that stuff, hit that like button and subscribe. But today I'm going to talk to you about the 2-1-2 full court, 3/4 court, as well as half court press basketball defense. Now, a lot of coaches do call this the X defense. If you ever see a coach who is going like this to their team, to his teammates, or to his team, and they're playing defense, this is exactly what they are playing and exactly their strategy of what they're trying to do. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check out this defense and why I personally have learned to love it. Okay, so as you can see, it basically makes an X. So we have 2 players up front, 1 player in the middle, 2 players in the back. Makes a big X. So basically, what this is doing is this is really protecting the middle of the court because we have player 3. These players up front, they are there to direct the dribbler towards the sideline, whatever sideline they're on. Meanwhile, this player here, this guy, he is there so that he can then trap, or this player, so they can trap in these corners. Let me explain. So I know every coach does tend to change how this works. So I'll go over the 2 different ways that coaches run this. So player 1 gets the ball, let's say. Player 1, he wants to go down the middle, but player 2 is cutting him off, so he's forcing him to go in this direction. If there is a swing, whatever, player 2 does not go past half court. That is his imaginary boundary. He doesn't go past that half. Player 1 now is trying to force his player down towards that sideline. Player 3, however, he wants to move over to the 3/4 court area going this way. So basically where the keys line up. Player 5, however, now moves over. Player 2 covers middle. Player 4 is now covering this side of the court. He's moving down and covering this side of the court. And now what we will have is player 1 forcing player 2 to this corner, where now player 2, he is staying up here. Player 3 is going to drop down, cover the middle, and player 4 is covering this side. Meanwhile, now player 2 is trapped. But there's another way of running this, and let me show you. So the other way of running this is a little bit more tricky, or sneaky, I should say. So this next way is kind of my favorite way of running it. These 2 players have free range. They go wherever. Player 3 is covering the middle. Player 4, he is covering passes, and player 5 is covering passes to those areas of the court. Player 3 is covering the whole middle. So if there's a player on this side, he better move over just a bit. And what we're looking to do is have player 2 and 1 smother the ball handler. This works extremely well if they only have 2 players down on this end. If they only have 2 players down on that end, well, then they're stuck. Let's say they have 3, because generally speaking they have 3. What's going to happen? Player 2 passes to player 1. Player 3 is going to start shadowing that side, but meanwhile player 2 and 1 are going to catch up. And now these 2 players are going to try and move player 1 over to that corner. Now when that happens, player 3, he is going to have this side. Player 4 is going to have this side. Player 5 is going to have this side. I know what that looked like. That's why I deleted it. But anyways, so what we're going to have is player 2 and player 1, just like in many, many full court press drills, player 1 is going to be the one who's leading on this side of the court. And then player 2 is going to be protecting the spin move or that pass over, because when that pass over comes, now player 2 can go up and play and force to that corner, and player 1 can then play that spin move defender / skip pass over defender. That's how I personally run these 2 players up top. It's really only single coverage, and this player is playing so that in case of the spin move, he can jump in quickly, or he can be there for that reverse pass. Meanwhile, this player, if he does get stuck going down into this corner, meanwhile player 1 is still following. As soon as player 2 gets it past half, we want player 1 to jump as quickly as possible and start smothering. At this time, player 4 is going to move down, player 5 is going to move up, and we're going to have player 3 covering top, 5 covering middle, player 4 covering the bottom. Now in the half-court setting, it's going to be a bit different. So we're going to have almost the same what's happening. And what we will start with is player 1 and 2. They're going to be about 1 to 2 feet past the half-court line. They're not going to be letting anything go up the middle. If that happens, they're going to close in on the player who's trying to go up the middle. And then they're going to be trying to force him one way or the other. So as soon as player 2, just like the full court defense, starts going in that direction, player 1 is starting to shadow. Player 1 is going to be shadowing so that he can cut off that cross-court pass, the reverse pass, or he's there so that in case player 2 does do a spin move, he can cut him off really quickly. So he's only going to be maybe 3 to 4 feet between players 2 and 1. Once player 2 gets by, it's the same thing as before. These guys are covering the same spots. Everything has to do with players 1 and 2. When they're going this way, again, man on, and then 3 feet away, 4 feet away, second man shadowing so that there's no reverse pass and no spin move, so he cuts him off really quickly. Now, I hope that this defense helps you. This is a great defense that does shut down a ton of different teams, so I hope that you have enjoyed. I hope that this defense works for your team. Of course, players 1 and 2, those first 2 players up on that court have to be super quick and a lot of stamina because they will be running a ton. Go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Defense book as well if you would like, because this 2-1-2 zone does move really well into that 1-4 that I run. Anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed. That book is in the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video. Somewhere on the screen is a subscribe button as well as a suggested video by YouTube.